On to some breaking developments coming in right this minute from Washington. An Amtrak passenger train has derailed on an overpass there in Washington. Many casualties and injuries are feared at this point of time. In terms of the initial information that is trickling in as we speak, all lanes of traffic remain blocked on the highway. Those are the latest images that we're getting to you from the scene where the train has derailed in Washington. What we do know so far is that the passenger train derailed on an overpass there in Washington. Many casualties are feared at this point of time as authorities try and race against time to try and contain the damage. All lanes of traffic remain blocked on the highway as we speak. An Amtrak train has derailed in Washington. There are initial reports suggesting that this derailment took place on an overpass there. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent, Andy Rosgan, who's joining us for more on this. All right, we'll just try and reconnect with Andy, but the scanty information that is trickling in as we speak, all lanes of traffic have been blocked as a result of that train which is derailed in Washington on an overpass. That's the latest image that we are sharing to you from the scene where the accident occurred. Of course, authorities working against time to ensure that the damage is controlled. The Amtrak train derailed on a highway there in Washington. A train has derailed in Washington. In terms of the limited information that is trickling in as we speak, an Amtrak passenger train derailed on an overpass in Washington where many casualties are feared at this point of time. All lanes of traffic remain blocked on the highway as a result of that accident. Let's go quickly across to our correspondent, Andy Rosgan, who's been getting us the very latest. Andy, what do you have?
Well, we know this, and here's the latest. The sheriff's department of that county where this train derailed put out a tweet saying that there are injuries and casualties at the scene of the derailment. Now, casualties can mean either death or injuries, so we don't want to read too much into that yet. But based on what witnesses are saying, there is probably very likely, at the minimum, very serious injuries occurred here. This train was southbound from Seattle. This train derailment occurred south of Seattle in the southbound lanes. This area where the train derailed, the train and the station near where it derailed, all recently got hundreds of thousands of dollars in an upgrade. So no one knows yet why this train derailed. But what witnesses are saying is that the cars that are dangling over the overpass off the bridge have crushed some vehicles underneath. So we don't know yet. It could be assumed that the injuries and or deaths could have occurred on the road level below by the cars coming down, the train cars coming onto the vehicles below, or to the folks in the train itself who were left dangling like that. So we just don't know yet the extent of the injuries and or possible deaths. The governor of Washington put out a tweet saying he's hoping everyone can pray for the victims here and keep them in their thoughts. There's a huge presence of first responders who are on the scene trying to get to the victims in this. And the southbound lanes of Interstate 5, that's the interstate where these train cars came onto, those are closed. And that's also a big deal because that's a major, major artery, probably the major artery that connects the entire West
Right, I was just coming to that, Andy, in terms of contextualizing the area where the accident occurred. This is an overpass situated in Washington. If you can tell us about whether or not this is an arterial highway which is taken. This is closer to noon, so we're looking at heavy traffic also which would be passing through.
Yes, obviously this happened. It's early in the morning here in Washington State. Around the train derailment happened around 8 a.m. in the morning. So a huge amount of traffic on this interstate. Like I said, it's the major arterial that connects the western states north to south. And this train is considered a high-speed train, an Amtrak train. very, very busy. And the big question is, was there a crack in the train tracks? Was there something that caused these cars to derail? But talk about the worst possible place for a train derailment. Of course, no place is good, but these train cars derailed right over the bridge over this incredibly busy interstate.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment, Andy, but we'll keep coming back to you as and when further updates trickle in on that accident, that derailment which just occurred in Washington on an arterial overpass.